You're still riding the high of the Switch 2 Direct. Something that I want to talk about that a few people are bringing up are franchises that did not show up in the Direct. There were some things that people were, hoping to see, expecting to see. There's some things that I had in my mind as well. I definitely think there was a smaller amount of first-party titles than most people would be hoping for. I think that's okay. I mean, just because it's not here right now doesn't mean that it's never coming or it's a million years away. But I think it would be a good idea to look over just all of the franchises right now and their general health. When we would predict game launches, it would largely be determined on, when was the last game that came out. Around, the end of the Switch's life, we stopped predicting certain games because they already had their time on Switch and we probably weren't getting another one. But now all bets are off. Now, anything is back on the table. And so those questions are going to be back in people's heads. When is the next time we are going to see blank? Today, of course, gave us a number of answers to some of those questions. Donkey Kong, who had been dormant for a very long time. I know we did just get, DKC Returns remastered, but as far as a new game is concerned, we haven't seen DK do something since 2014. Whenever Tropical Freeze came out. So that's big. We did also get a good amount of Kirby here too. Air Ride 2 by Sakurai is massive, as well as a side story for the Switch 2 edition of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. We know Pokemon is working on stuff. ZA is here, so that's the big, Pokemon's happening right now. So questions as to what Pokemon, is going to be giving us later, are definitely up there. When's the next main line? Are we getting any spin-offs? We don't know, but ZA is here now, so that's the topic of attention. Mario Kart we got today, so that, this again, we've been stuck in the same Mario Kart dimension for a decade now. So knowing that we're finally, moving to the next stage there is big. And finally, Metroid, which we've got Prime 4, coming out, which of course that's huge, for Metroid. Metroid's been in a really good state lately, but, as to when, there are other questions like Prime 2 remastered and 3 remastered, Echoes and Corruption. I'm personally really hoping we see that. But now that with GameCube NSO, Echoes could come that way, which that would be, interesting and a little unfortunate for people hoping for a really strong remake treatment. And then Corruption, Prime 3 would just be, out of luck. So that's the things that we know about. But I want to talk a little bit about the things that did not show at all and how likely I think they are to show up soon. I think the biggest title that is in everybody's head right now is Animal Crossing. Of all of the where was blank comments that I've seen, Animal Crossing has definitely been on the top of the list. Where are we with Animal Crossing? I'm not sure what direction they'll go. New Horizons was of course massive, and I think timing had a lot to do with that, but it was also a really, decent, wonderful little game. I definitely think it could have had a bit more content, which is why I'm thinking currently that before or rather than a new Animal Crossing, we might see a New Horizons Nintendo Switch edition with, new content, new extras, new NPC characters. It'd be nice to kind of have a complete edition that has all of the extras that were added, over the year or so that they were adding new updates, including the big, Happy Home agency, Happy Home designer, side mode that they put in at the very end of its content life. So imagining all that together as one package, plus maybe a little bit extra for the Switch 2 edition, I think that would be a perfectly, fine way of bringing Animal Crossing over to the Switch 2. Though, of course, I would be equally happy and equally as excited to see a new Animal Crossing, right out the gate. It strikes me as a year 2 kind of project. We're probably not getting it now. If they are doing a brand new Animal Crossing, I doubt we would be getting it this year. It's probably going to be a next year or later type thing, which is fine. I do think that, here's the double-edged sword, right? everything should be on the system as soon as possible. But that's, you know, they can't get everything done, so some things will have to come a little bit later. And if that ends up being Animal Crossing, you know, I personally can wait for Animal Crossing. I'd be very interested to just see what like New Horizons playability on Switch 2 would be like. You know, I assume you're going to be able to, you know, transfer your data, you know, and I remember because I was working at a game shop like around the time of New Horizons, you know, big deal. Transferring data was a pain in the butt. So we're going to see and hope that it's not as big of a pain in the butt this time. So that's Animal Crossing, but another really big franchise is Splatoon. And we got like no Splatoon here. I think the answer to this is pretty, you know, expected. I think Splatoon 4 is in the works, and we will probably be hearing about that a little down the line. I think Splatoon 4 is more likely than like a Splatoon 3 Switch 2 edition. That just, you know, based on just how Splatoon is and how the franchise has gone so far, it seems like, you know, making new games is the, you know, more you know, just expected outcome for them. I mean, we really said goodbye to Splatoon 3, didn't we? We had a whole grand festival, and it was beautiful. So it'd be a little weird to just like, you know, go right back to it with like maybe a few new features. No, I say we go ham on the next, you know, big Splatoon and really go crazy with that. And I'll be looking forward to the day that we do it. Oh boy, can you imagine Splatoon with mouse controls though? Oh dear. But also now we can like have Splatoon with like voice and video chat, which like that's super fun. It would not surprise me if there was a Splatoon like reveal and special direct just for it, you know, maybe around the end of this year. But that might be wishful thinking. We'll see. Now for the big question marks. What do we do about Smash? Masahiro Sakurai has revealed that his like big project that he's been wanting to do for so long, that developing Smash literally took him away from, is now Kirby Air Riders. So Sakurai is working on that. So what are they going to do with Smash Brothers on Switch 2? I think the most likely outcome is Smash Ultimate Switch 2 Edition. And unlike Animal Crossing, where I think we could possibly see both New Horizons Switch 2 and a new Animal Crossing, I think Smash, it would probably be one or the other. And I feel like Ultimate Switch 2 Edition is probably the way to go. Like, where do we even go from here? Like, this has been the ultimate. This has been the ultimate question since, you know, we finished with Ultimate. It's what do we do now? How do we raise the bar from what we've already done? I don't think we really can go much further without just adding more crazy characters. And I think that's the kind of thing that you could totally do in a, you know, Switch 2 edition. Have it be Ultimate with everything that's, you know, already present in there. You know, maybe even include all like the DLCs as well. And then also have like maybe a third pass with like a few more characters. It doesn't have to be 1 million. It doesn't have to be crazy. We were saying that about Smash 4, I remember. We were like, Smash 4 could just be brought up to the Switch with a few more characters and we'll all be satisfied. And then they gave us way, way more. Can Smash be done without Sakurai? This is a question that we don't yet know the answer to. I'm sure it can, but we don't know what it looks like without him. Time will tell in regards to Super Smash Bros.'s future. As for some other titles that didn't make an appearance here today, and I don't think it's like a massive rush either. I'm actually really shocked that there was nothing Fire Emblem related. They tend to sneak Fire Emblem into just about every big presentation, but no Fire Emblem at all. I certainly think that we could see, you know, Three Houses or what was even the other one called? Engage, Fire Emblem Engage. We could see them, but I mean, I think a new Fire Emblem is just as likely. Oh, you know, I guess we did get a little bit of Fire Emblem news in that there's a Fire Emblem now on the GameCube service, Path of Radiance, which is great. That game is like $200 to $300, so wonderful that you don't have to pay that anymore. You just have to pay like $450 for a Switch 2. I personally would love to see a Fire Emblem Awakening remaster. A lot of people talk about Genealogy of the Holy War, which I don't know a whole lot about that, but I'd be interested to see it regardless. Maybe even a new Fire Emblem Warriors, but I mean, now we've got Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment. So that's probably what that team has been working on. But I think that Fire Emblem, we will certainly be seeing it on this system at some point. No Pikmin, but that's the norm for us Pikmin fans. The fact that there has been this much Pikmin has been crazy. Will we see Pikmin 5? I don't know. I think a Pikmin 4 Switch 2 edition or even like Pikmin 3. Can you imagine how beautiful Pikmin 3 would look on Switch 2 graphics? I think either of those are totally plausible. Yeah, I wouldn't classify Pikmin as like an expectation sort of a thing, but I think as we get to maybe the halfway point of the Switch 2's life cycle, I would definitely love to see what Pikmin would have in store by then. A surprising amount of people are talking about Star Fox, and I love Star Fox personally, but I'm always unsure as to how many people are truly really asking for Star Fox. I really thought that Star Fox would get a second chance, or I don't know, fifth or sixth chance at success in the Switch's life. We did technically get Starlink, which was cool. But yeah, they really put all their eggs into the Star Fox basket in the Wii U era with Star Fox Zero. And I imagine that based on that game's performance and the performance of games past it, made them a little nervous. So I thought it would be we're gonna get it at the end of the Switch's life cycle when, the stakes of success are not as high. But it looks like no, we're going to be waiting longer. I do think that we'll be hearing from Team Star Fox again sometime, but I think it, will be a little bit longer. And of course, we didn't hear anything from Xenoblade, but we'll certainly be hearing about Xenoblade soon. We just got Xenoblade X remastered, but I don't think that will deter the franchise at all. I think we'll be hearing about it quite soon. Will it be 4 or will it be any of the 1, 2, 3 games put onto Switch 2 editions? I think any is plausible. I'm not too informed in the Xenoblade universe. I've only played Definitive Edition of the first game. So I think any of them would be welcomed with open arms. And then there's Mario. I did say before that Animal Crossing I thought was the most common requested game for this direct, but honestly I think number 1 was 3D Mario. We've not gotten a 3D Mario since Odyssey * Bowser's Fury, so I think people are hungry for it, and it's a big system seller, so this would I think a lot of people thought this would be the big title to expect. Thing is, Nintendo said reject Plumber and embrace Monkey. I don't think we know who's developing Donkey Kong Bonanza yet, but based on just the quality alone of just how good that game looks, I would not be surprised if it was the same team that did Odyssey or one of their big 3D platformer developer teams. So if that team's working on Donkey Kong, this is sort of the big 3D platformer now. It just happens to be Donkey Kong. So when will we see Mario, next? Not even just 3D Mario, but what about 2D Mario? I know we got Wonder a couple years ago, not too long ago. When will be the next one of those? It's tough to say. So despite how many first-party franchises didn't make an appearance today, I don't think it's a reason to fret too much. I think that we'll be hearing from probably all of them, if not most of them, in the coming year or two. I don't know about y'all, but my stomach can only fill so much. I'm gonna be eating all these games that are releasing in the next few months. There's only so much that I can eat. Pace yourselves. We will absolutely be seeing more, as like we've just begun. The Switch 2 era has, like, the floodgates have opened at last, and now we get to just enjoy and see what else will, be coming later. For now, we get to be excited about all these, big franchises, and I'm for one very satisfied. But I want to hear, of course, what you guys think. Was there a game franchise that you were like, it's either this or nothing? If that's not here, I'm gonna be really sad. Is there something that you're really looking forward to, seeing, like, hopefully in the near or far future? Are there any franchises where you're like, I think that one's fine, and we probably don't have to, get something right away? Let me know, as I'm sure that we're all going to be keeping our eyes peeled for any and all future announcements and installments. Until then, I got a bunch more video work to do, so till the next one.